welcome to the WHIM Life show, where we use wisdom, humor, inspiration, and motivation to help you truly live your one unique life. I'm Wendy Alexandre, and today we're going to talk about the next in our series of 9 pillars that I use as guiding posts in my life. And this one is my favorite. It's adventure. Now, when most people think of adventure, the things that typically start to come to mind are often scary or dangerous, but that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. While I absolutely love roller coasters, I've been skydiving, I regularly run obstacle course races, and for many years owned my own and rode my own motorcycle. So those just aren't always the types of adventure that I'm talking about. What adventure is to me simply comes down to fun. When I am thinking about making sure that I'm including adventure in my life, my qualification for that is, did I intentionally have fun today? Did I laugh? Did I dance? Did I play or create something? Or do any number of other activities that I really enjoy that add happiness to every day of my life. I can honestly say that fun was not always a part of my daily intentions. As a matter of fact, I used to think it really shouldn't be part of my daily activities. Those types of things should be reserved for weekends or special occasions. And if you can even imagine how unhappy that makes me, being business all the time, except for just a handful of days in a month, I look back on that now and I'm just like, that doesn't even make any sense. I'm so surprised at how stuck I was in that false belief. But I really, really, really have changed all of that. And a lot of that I have to give credit to one particular person that helped shift everything in the way that I think about play. And that's my friend Megan McCaleb. She is a comedian and an improv instructor, and I have taken her classes more than once. Getting outside of my comfort zone and getting into silly was a really tough transition for me. There was this wall or barrier there that I felt like if I let go and behaved like a goofball, that no one would ever respect or trust me again in a professional setting. And I'm gonna just be really, really frank right now. That is bullshit. If you are in that same place that I was, if you feel like you can't let go of that structure, you can't let go and just play, you are so wrong. If you will just allow yourself to play and have a good time and be silly, it not only will allow yourself to be more happy, but it will start to bond more people to you in the know, like, and trust factor. And what that means is that even more business will come your way as well when you let that wall down. There's just something magical about letting go and truly being yourself that draws more people to you. Out of all of the pillars in my life, I would say that this one, adventure and fun, has to have had the most significant impact on my relationship with myself, as well as friends, family, and my business. It has truly changed everything. Just like with all of the others, as for tracking, we really want to stick with the same ritual of recording. So each evening I go through that process of reflection, taking that personal accountability method into account for each of those specific areas that are important to me. And fun and adventure are no different. So when I go into my daily reflection, I think about that particular pillar and what it means to me. The really most important part, as with all of them, is intention. Not if I was just happened to have a good time or happened to laugh, but was I intentional about making an opportunity for me to really enjoy the experience? So, if I just happened to have a fun conversation with someone and laughed throughout that, yes, I was, letting my guard down and I was having a good time, but that is not the same as being super, super intentional about making sure. I have a weekly date with a bunch of girlfriends that we sit down for an hour or 2 hours, depending on who's available and what time works. And we actually play Rummy Cube or another game during that time, just to kind of lighten the load. It gives us an opportunity to chit chat and intentionally have some fun in my life. So if once you're going to record that, we're going to use that same stoplight system, that green if you were intentional, yellow if you had an opportunity and took advantage of it but weren't necessarily intentional about that, and then the hot pink if there was no adventure in your day and you didn't take the time to do any of that. So match those up with the date and that particular pillar. Color that in so that you can kind of keep track and look back over time to see what those connections are that you're making. How often are you being intentional in this department versus other departments? It really will start to show you a trend of where you are able to hit those goals that you've set for yourself. And I think that's another really important point. This isn't about a expectation that someone else has set of you. This is something that you have said that you want in your life. You said that you wanted to set this goal as being more intentional in these areas of your life. So as you record that, you'll be able to look back and see how closely you are able to cultivate those intentional activities. You can absolutely make this as simple or as full as you want. I definitely incorporated journaling at one point so that I could really fulfill the details of what those activities were. Eventually that got scaled back to all I'm doing is coloring in a box, but you can have something in between where you just color in the box and you write a simple 2 or 3 sentences to talk about that reflection on how you cultivated an opportunity to spend your time the way that you wanted to. I promise you, in the days, weeks, months, and years to come, you will thank yourself for taking the time to reflect and record this opportunity. So thank you all so much for sharing this time with me. I hope this dose of WHIM helps you go after what you dream of in your one unique life. And until next time, remember to share the goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in to the My WHIM Life show today. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a moment of the goodness.